It's
Good
another
afternoon.
Thursday here at Global Domination Live, and we're back. I'm Stephanie Gilezan, and this is my partner in crime, Jason Caraway. How are
Good
you, sir?
afternoon. I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. I love this. I so look forward to us getting together on Thursdays to have this conversation, to open other people's minds, not only that are in the business, but maybe they're thinking about a career in real estate. And you just think about how small this world actually really is and how much opportunity there is in it. And, we empower agents every day to sell worldwide. I love it.
I agree. I love it too. I look forward to these, and we're doing them every other week right now, and I'm sure that'll grow into some other things. But it is, to your point. I want to start by saying, we talk on a regular basis, almost daily, but it takes a couple of weeks of delay to get it back out to everyone else that might be tuning in. So, but our business is really like coming together
Yes.
in EXP. I mean, I'm having some really fascinating conversations with agents from literally all over the country and even in some other countries, which is really exciting too. And just in our normal kind of day-to-day conversations that we're having with the projects, and we come into contact with these different realtors and brokers, and then transitioning that conversation into let me tell you a little bit about EXP. And it just opens up these really
Yes.
great conversations, and they've been very productive. So good to
You know,
report that back. Yeah.
and I absolutely love it, because I mean, obviously both of us have been in this business, well over 20 years apiece. And, I was having a conversation with an independent broker owner yesterday, and we were both in that spot. We both built brokerages prior to coming to EXP. I just asked a simple question, and we were talking about EXP commercial. He happened to be a commercial broker, but I asked him a simple question. I said, "Can you operate your brokerage on 20 grand a year?" He goes, "No." And I'm
Mm.
like, "But that's all it is at EXP." And he's like, "What? Like, how could that possibly be?
How does that work? Yeah.
How could that even possibly be?" But that's exactly what gets people to open their eyes. And so if you think about that as a broker owner, as a team operator, you cannot take on that level of liability
Mm-hmm.
under 20 grand a year. You just
No,
can't.
no way. No, it's
Not
possible.
not at all. The overhead, all the things that it costs to just, keep doors open for a business these days. But then you start looking at the opportunity and what we're able to do. And you said it best. You're talking to agents all over the country in the US, but in other countries. The connectivity. I mean, think about when you were in your broker office
Mm-hmm.
and you were focused on Austin, Texas.
Right.
That
Yeah,
was your role.
Austin, Texas, some ranches, ranch land, some commercial development, but primarily in the hill country and in Texas, right through the
Yeah.
state. But it was very limited to that. I mean, it's very limited to this network that you have right here. And I'm from day one. That's what has been so impressive to me about EXP is when you plug in, it's the whole network of other professionals that are attached and are a part of it. And all of a sudden, you you have contacts everywhere. I mean, it's funny. I'm working on a deal right now down in the Florida Keys, and I've got a 1031 deal I'm doing down there. And I'd spoken with this agent. She's great. She's fantastic. And to be real honest with you, I never really paid attention because I was speaking with her last year. And as I circle back, I'm like, wait a minute, she's with EXP. I had no idea, and I just wasn't paying attention at the time, but it just kind of, I laughed at myself because it's amazing how many people are getting interested in coming on board. And it's because of everything that EXP offers.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, and that is where the opportunities come because, I told you early on when it's not just the network of people and how to get your properties that are already existing exposure and get your clients' properties exposure, but it's the opportunities that this powerful network can bring you as well.
100%. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
And what we learned when I started to focus on selling properties outside of the US, I mean, think about it. In the US, it's hard enough because every state has a license.
Right.
Everybody's got different laws. I mean, that's tough. But then you start going into other countries and they're like, how in the world did you figure this out? And I go, guys, it's pretty easy. When you're open for business and you're with a company that's open for business, you pick up the phone and you speak to these agents because they're our business partners and they're so helpful, aren't they, Jason?
Yeah, it's that's a really great thing, and it's very much a team effort, and everyone is super, super helpful, super supportive. You know, within our platform that we work within, if you have a question, you're looking for a contact in, I don't know if it's England or if it's in Utah or whatever the case may be, you reach out and you have like 7 people that respond within minutes. Oh, hey, I've got this person, or I'm here, or how can I help? Or and while you have access to every other broker and realtor, as being a professional, you don't have that instant touch point that you have when you're within the company, because it truly does work as a big group. So
That's right. Well, and what I love about it too is when you talk about that communication channel, and it's so easy for all of us to connect to one another. What's even better is the opportunity to gain business. Sorry, the delivery guy's coming. Do y'all hear that? Gosh, Cash, my dog. His name's Cash. He just loves attention. So anyway, they're getting ready to drop that off, and he'll leave. Cash, come on now. So what's funny is that I can post something of an opportunity, and or if I have an agent that says, look, Stephanie, I'm slow, I don't know exactly what to do. I'm like, look, all you've got to do is you get on our EXP workplace and you scroll, because there is a referral opportunity that's getting posted on that workplace basically every 3 seconds of the day. That's how often business is happening.
It's mind-blowing when you watch the activity.
Unbelievable. We brought in an agent in Rhode Island who was at another brokerage, and he was starving. He was starving and so he was starving so bad, he actually was driving Uber to pay his bills. Okay. And look, there's nothing wrong with that. You got to pay your bills. But in his big, 200 agent brick and mortar office, there was nobody giving him any opportunity. And, when I spoke to him about EXP, I said, listen, when you come on board, if you just focus on this one thing, and it's going to be you engaging on workplace, on the app, and grabbing these opportunities that get posted, I promise you're going to quit driving Uber, because you're going to be able to afford, to live without it. And do you know, he joined on November 1, and by the middle of December, he was the #1 agent that month in Rhode Island, because he had grabbed so many of those opportunities. Of course he stopped. Of course he stopped driving Uber. Here we are. He's not even been here a year yet. He's iconed, Jason. This is a man who was at a large firm driving Uber to pay the bills.
And within 2 months, he's turned his entire business around by plugging into the resources in the network.
Exactly. And just that one thing. And here we get 3 months in, and I'm like, okay, now let's focus on some other things, because there's more than just that one thing. He goes, I'm good. And I'm like, oh my goodness, there's so many more ways. But now he's iconed. He's gotten that $16,000 cap back in stock. It's back in his account.
Yeah.
So it's cost him nothing. He's more than 100% at EXP. You hear that? He's more than 100%. But now he's building a team, because those opportunities are so great that he can't grab them all.
Yeah.
But he's so good at grabbing them all that he can now start building that team.
Delegate some of those out and grow his business. Yeah. No, that's fantastic. And that's what we want to do. And that's that's part of what I wanted to communicate out to, our non-EXP viewers today, is that what we're working to do here is really build something special that attract people who are looking for a change in their real estate business, who either are struggling in their real estate business or are doing well but just want to take it to the next level, because there really is an opportunity. And
Yes.
as Stephanie said, as a professional in the real estate business for 20 years, you've seen a lot of different things, a lot of different companies, how they're structured, how they work. Um, I've just never seen anything like EXP. And I mean, I can tell you from pure experience, it's working in my business, and I'm really starting to see the growth with it. And I love the team building aspect. And so that's where a lot of my focus goes, is really trying to meet and connect with other brokers, agents, full brokerages in some case. We're working to convert some of them over to EXP, and people are really starting to understand the benefits.
That's right.
Yeah, and so it's very exciting. So I would love to have any conversations of anyone who wants to reach out, and Stephanie and I can connect and really dig into the nuts and bolts of it.
And that, I want to touch on that even more, Jason, because, for me, I've had a successful career for 25 years in real estate, but I have always wanted to pivot and stay, I've always wanted to just have an exciting career, right? When you build such a large book of business, which I know there's people watching this that have a substantial book of business, and they're not tapping into it in all the ways that they possibly can. And that's what we do. This is our specialty. We teach agents how to tap into your already existing book of business. Or if you don't have a book of business, how do you build one? But also how you can make great commission income on this computer selling real estate. And it's fun, and it's glamorous, and it's global, and it's in the islands, and it's in the tropics. And that's what we do. And so the agents that we're looking for are those that are excited about that want to push out to their database of people that already know, like, and trust them, that want to put it on their social media that they're a global agent, that they have listings in the Caribbean, that they have listings in Costa Rica, St. John, Bahamas, Key West, wherever the case might be, because the opportunities just keep coming. I've got one, Jason, I can't wait to share with you that I just got yesterday.
You're holding out.
You gotta send that to him. This is huge, you guys. We're going to have properties for days and days. I'm talking years. We're going to need a huge team to help us with this.
Yeah, we need a team to help us deploy all the real estate opportunities.
All the real estate
coming in, because
all the real estate, and it kind of goes into who you already are working with too. It's so funny how this world, keeps coming back around. But you have a fund, Jason, and some of those investors, it's no secret, they're in the NFL. I mean, that's cool.
That's exciting. And so I'll be, you mentioned a great point, is that we want to work with people who are excited and really want to go out and grab life by the horns, is a great way to describe it. Listen, I like to operate at a very high level, really passionate, really intense about my business, my personal, everything in life to me is about intensity. And I'm
a step above that.
You are definitely, that's why you and I get along so well, is because you run really hot as well. So we want to bring in other people that are just really fired up about what they do. They love what they do, but they just want to be better. They want to be more, because we're always pushing to how far can we push our business? How far can we push ourselves? How can we be a better version of what we're doing today, tomorrow? And so those are the kinds of people that we do attract, and that we want to speak to. Because if you want something more out of your life, you have to be willing to build the discipline and put in the work that it takes to get there. But you also have to put yourself in an environment where that it fosters that growth and allows you to go to those next levels. You can do that with the XP. And so I
Absolutely.
promise you one thing, I would not be here if you could not.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly right.
you know what I mean? So it's exciting. But yeah, so you mentioned with the fund, and that's been another avenue in which that we can go out and have these really incredible conversations with people. And we cater to a lot of professional athletes and high net worth individuals. But what it does is it just puts us again in an environment we can have these conversations that bring these big opportunities in real estate and other aspects of business. But the real estate, it all pulls back into EXP, where we have to build this team to be able to sell and deploy all these real estate assets that we're bringing in. So it's an exciting time. It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
It is an exciting time. And look, we're not telling you to give up any of the business that you've already built. We're just having you add to it.
Yeah.
You know, part of I think the best part about this is people ask me all the time, there's like, how did you get started? How did you get started? Well, it came first with the opportunity. I had to have the inventory. Right? I had to have the inventory. I already had the database, I already had the clientele. Those were the people that I already knew, liked, and trust me. But I had to have the inventory. Well, here's what we're telling you all. We have the inventory. We have tons of it, don't we, Jason?
We do.
Tons.
We can help you get
Yeah.
something to sell that you can
Yes.
start using as your listings, if you will. So
That's exactly what we want, because there's so much, we can't do it all. And number two, then we help you get it pushed out to your database. And then number three, we're helping you get this all facilitated. And people are like, but I'm not licensed in the Bahamas, and I'm not, guys, we're getting the developer to pay you a very large referral fee for referring over your clientele. Nobody stipulates what a referral fee amount is, and it is a very hefty commission. And look, since I've been doing this is how I prefer to sell real estate. I put very little miles on my car. The last 3 years, I think I've put a total of not even 1,800 miles on my car. Seriously.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, I love it. I love it because my business is on this computer. Jason and we've never even physically met. I met him on this computer. I listed his entire development on this computer. We will eventually meet in October for the first time in Miami, but you're like my brother. Right?
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's weird when you say that actually now, because I feel like we've
known each other.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's funny. Very true though. You can get a lot done, and this is how business is done these days.
It's exactly right. So
yeah, that's exciting. Well, we could dive in a little bit to. I know we've talked a lot about the developments that we're doing, but why don't we? We'll take a couple of minutes to go through. But for those who haven't heard about it, we do have a couple of new developments right now. We have one down in the U.S. Virgin Islands in St. John. It's a luxury oceanfront condominium development. It was structured and designed as fractional ownership. And so out of those 10 individual units, we have 10 segments of ownership per unit. So we have 100 ownership opportunities within that development. And, we got onto this fractional model because of a few different reasons. But one, it was just so attractive from an ownership standpoint and from a usability standpoint, and being smart about the amount of investment going into an investment property. And when you're able to go, and the average second home is used 2 to 3 weeks out of the year, and you say, well, at best, I'll be there 3 weeks out of the year. But you go in and you have to spend $1.6 million or $1.8 million for a condo. That's really hard to reconcile. You really have to be committed to that kind of purchase if you're in that position to make that purchase. Does it make sense to go in and buy a 10th or buy an 8% ownership of that fraction and pay something that's commensurate really to the amount of time that you're going to be on site? Whereas you pay $200,000, for instance, and you have a fraction of this ownership, you're there the same amount of time. And then guess what? When you're not there, you have none of the headaches, none of the expense, none of the upkeep that goes along with owning that 100%. So to me, that really resonated and it made a lot of sense. And I feel like it also made it accessible and more reasonable to a lot more people. And so that's why we feel strongly about the fractional
Yeah.
business.
And what else it does too, Jason, is it allows for people who do want to go to more than just one place every year to
Exactly.
be able to travel, because it's part of an exchange program to
Yeah.
where you can take one of your weeks, put it into the exchange, and then choose from another 120 plus destinations from around the world. I mean, we're talking all over Europe. I mean, everywhere, and then visit those places. And so, that is a unique opportunity. A lot of times people are always confusing fractional with timeshare, and no, this is not timeshare. This is, you are owning this, you are on the deed, you're going to get the appreciation of this. It's just, you're going to also have a fraction of the headaches and a fraction of what the cost of owning that property is, which is a huge benefit. For me, I still have kids in school. I can't justify spending $1.6 million and being able to go somewhere 3 or 4 weeks out of the year. There's just no way I'm going to do it. I'm too cheap for that, you all. I make good money, but I like to hoard my money. All those that know me very well know I'm too cheap. My husband will tell you we live like pilgrims. No, not really. But I can justify doing the 2-bedroom condo, oceanfront, amazing new construction. I mean, everything is provided, you all, down to the linens, down to the holder that my toothbrush is going to sit in, for $220,000. I mean, think about that.
Yeah,
$220,000.
yeah, with Elite Alliance, our strategic partner on the deal, and they manage. They're involved in over 100 properties around the world. They're experts at operations. Um, they it's outstanding the level of service that they give at their resorts and their properties, and so they've done this for a long time, and so every every square inch of this thing is covered. And when you show up to an Elite property, when you show up to Island Sky Residence Club, there's a concierge there. There's everything is just meticulous. And so you never have to worry about, did the cleaning crew that I hired, in a remote island clean my property while I've been gone? And, you just don't know. I mean, you don't know with a rental property here stateside, I can promise you, much less off on some island in the Caribbean.
Oh,
You never
yeah.
know what you're going to get. So, but with them, you do. So we've been able to figure out how to control that experience. And it's a first class experience every time. So reach out about that and let us get you plugged into on the selling side of that. So we'd love to have you part of that.
And that is right there. That's one of the things that we definitely want you to do, whether you're ready to have the conversation about EXP or not. We want you promoting Island Sky to your clients, and we want to pay you a hefty 3% of the sales price referral fee for bringing us your buyers, and we're going to do the work. I mean, I'll do the sales job, and you can just sit there and learn and listen and collect a check, because as soon as that sale takes place, this is what's so great about it is that with fractional ownership, there is no real closing. I mean, it's with the snap of the fingers. It happens that quick. So it's a much easier process, you all. And it's a streamlined process that we have. And we'd love to be in business with as many of you that want to be in business. But islandskystjohn.com is that website so that you can see more information about that. Jason, I can't wait for, you've got Bahamas on the outlook. You've already mentioned the Keys, which is going to be amazing because it's been years since anybody's done anything in the Florida Keys, I feel like, right? I mean, it's been a while. That's going to be amazing. You've got stuff going on in Texas. I know there's going to be additional things coming up in the islands. In 2023, $57.5 billion were spent in the Caribbean alone on vacation property. That was just vacation property. This year, it's going to be even bigger. And now that we start to see the interest rates come down and inflation is getting a handle, just think of how much bigger that's even going to be.
Yeah, it's going to take some pressure off of people, where it's going to create a little more, expendable income, and they're going to be more willing to travel and so on and so forth. And there are a lot of great things, and hopefully, I know we all hope that the economy's headed in a good direction. I feel good about it, but Caribbean travel is interesting because people love going to these regions. They love to escape. They love to get away. And if at all possible, and that's one of the things that people aren't going to let go of. Like, they want to get away and have a life and get some
Mhm.
travel in, some travel time with their family. So the Caribbean it's just too beautiful not to go spend time down there and check it out. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
hey, even better, once you start selling down there, well, I hope I'm not going to get audited after I say this, Jason, but once you start selling down there, it's a lot easier to write off those trips.
Exactly. Exactly. That's right. That's it.
I argue every year with my CPA. You can't write that off. I go, oh, yes, I can, because that was business.
Real estate research. What are you talking about? Yeah.
That was a tour.
Yeah, that's right.
No, this is awesome. But
Yeah.
literally, reach out to us. Feel free to email us. Reach out to us via LinkedIn through, instant messenger, however you want to connect with us. We're happy to have the conversation. Whether you want to hit us up together or individually, give us a call, however it is. Jason, it was awesome. I can't wait till our next Thursday. Maybe we'll have a special guest on. Maybe we'll get Sheila or Beth or somebody awesome to
I
come
love it.
join us.
Yeah. No, I always enjoy it. Appreciate it, Stephanie.
All right, everyone. Till next time. Thank you.
Thank you all.